And yeah.
All right.
Kind of curious to see where you came from. And that's me. And yeah.
Yeah, so you should go to the YouTube window and mute it from the page.
Yes, I did.
Okay, I think it's time. Let's get started, and we will let people join in as they do, and we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good. I guess let me introduce myself. My name is Smitha. I'm part of the customer success team with SchoolZ. And Avnish, you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yes, my name is Avnish, and I'm co-founder and CEO of SchoolZ. Started it around 3 years ago, and we're just scaling it to all the PTA right now.
Awesome. So basically the agenda of this webinar is to kind of go into, you know, the tools for PTA Success, kind of what features that we have that go into our site and mobile app, and how our PTAs kind of across the nation now are using us to stay highly efficient. So we're going to kind of go through the background and story of SchoolZ and the mission, and then do a deeper dive into some of the key features that we help you tackle. So what is SchoolZ? SchoolZ is a productivity and engagement platform for classroom, schools, and PTAs. So that's right, we actually have 3 different products that fall under SchoolZ. So we have SchoolZ Classroom, which is for teachers and parents to stay highly engaged throughout the school year. Teachers who are using us right now are saving 4 to 6 hours per week in their classroom, staying very productive. And then we have SchoolZ for K through 12. So this is the tool for school leadership to kind of measure and track engagement and happiness and fun across their classrooms, and provide tips and tricks to keep communities and families engaged. With SchoolZ for K through 12, we also have a professional development curriculum that's centered around empathy and growth mindset, and kind of bring those qualities into the classroom. And then finally, what we're talking about today is the SchoolZ for PTAs and parent groups. So these are tools for PTA leadership teams to streamline communication with their board members, really stay in contact with their team, and kind of increase community engagement in the larger community. So these 4 blocks that you're seeing right here are the 4 main categories that we help your unit tackle. So we have the all-in-one PTA management, the fun and family engagement, larger community engagement, and then modern online funds generation. And all 4 of these are accessible through the online website tool that we have, and also through mobile app, which is completely free, can be downloaded, and you can sign up for free to explore it right now. So before we get into the key features within those 4 blocks, I'll let Avnish talk a little bit about the story and kind of the mission behind SchoolZ.
All right, let's go ahead. So do you want to jump to the next slide?
Yes.
So I think SchoolZ started around 3.5 years ago, when my son Rahul became a preschooler, and he had this awesome teacher, Miss Kim, who essentially, just to communicate with the parents, she was using email, and like typically sending an email to 30 people, 30 parents in each week was kind of a little bit of struggle. So, I mean, as a kind of hobby, I built a very small app for her and for all of us as parents. And I mean, essentially, what it allowed them to do is to engage using scheduled newsletters, and also kind of, we started posting all the field trip pictures and classroom event pictures in a private setting. So in kind of very quickly, this took off, and I mean, with some referrals going out from Miss Kim, it essentially nearby 4 or 5 schools started using it. Smita, can you go to the next slide? So I mean, what we saw is the parents in all of these classrooms who started using it were more happy and engaged, and they were kind of less surprised about the activities, what is going to happen next week. And the volunteer activities increased, and kind of it brought us some intrigue in terms of why it is happening. So that got us thinking, and when we researched, when we essentially researched, we landed up on this document from Department of Education, which talked about like top 10 opportunities and the problems what entrepreneurs should be addressing. So one of the top 3 opportunities and problem was increasing family engagement. And what we realized is that we have tapped into that segment to kind of increase engagement by the use of technology. So we did further more research, and we found out that the Department of Education has created multiple frameworks across the last 25 years or so. First of which was created in '95, which was called Abstain's Framework. Then 2014, Dual Capacity Building Framework came out, which was authored by Dr. Karen Mapp and with the Department of Education. And then we also noticed that the states, different states, have adopted their own version of research. So we kind of just took a deep dive into these frameworks and understood what they're trying to say. So a common theme emerged from these frameworks in terms of what does a school or a successful school look like from the practices of family engagement. Can I have the next slide? So I mean, what's in the common thread between or among high achieving schools are, I mean, all of these which came out from the frameworks, like they are interactive. Communication is 2 ways, not just information broadcast. They are inclusive in their communication, means they essentially target all sorts of parents from different demographics. They're collaborative, they're community supported, and they essentially build everything on the relation. One thing which commonly emerged was that most of these schools had a parent group or a PTA as a liaison to increase family engagement. So that got us thinking, and we also saw the product was kind of being used more and more by PTA. So that's essentially what led us to build specifically for the parent-teacher associations. So I think there's a piece of research which also says that higher the parental engagement, higher the student outcome, and that essentially that's where PTAs fit in. I mean, since then, we have essentially built out a lot for PTA. We have built multiple products for their hierarchical structure. We have built it for the units, we built it for the councils and the districts. And here we are kind of, just having more than 100 PTAs on the platform right now and trying to help more and more across this year. So back to you, Smita.
Cool. Yeah. So I hope that gives a little bit of insight into why the system has kind of been broken up into these 4 areas. So let's go a little bit deeper into each of these categories. Before we do that, I wanted to do a quick viewer poll just to see how many forms of communication do you use to connect with your PTA members. So that can be like social media, email, phone. Just curious about that. If you're listening, if you're able to put your answer in the chat, that would be awesome. Avnish, are you able to see the chat? If I'm not, while I'm sharing?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So we'll give it about 30 seconds there.
So I'm posting the question in the chat as well.
Okay, thanks. Anything on your end?
No, not yet, but I think we can continue.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess something that we've kind of noticed for me in the past couple of months is how many um, tools that the PTA units kind of are using to stay in communication with each other. So many different avenues. You have Facebook, Twitter, email, phone, text, WhatsApp, right? And they're kind of moving into the new school year, maybe not feeling as organized as they would like. So that's kind of where we come in, kind of an all-in-one system to kind of handle the admin management stuff, your membership management, your community outreach, and all of that. So let's go a little bit deeper into the first category, which was the all-in-one PTA management. These are some of the features that we have for it. So we have announcements, the direct messaging with your board members, calendar feature, membership management, document and resource storage, which, so you can store links and flyers, important documents, and then with the mobile app as well, that comes with push notifications. So people are getting your messages kind of all in one app, are able to see your posts, share your posts, and also direct message with you directly. And then for the fun and family engagement, we have photo album creation. So it's a very safe and secure way for you to upload, photos from events and things like that without having to go to Facebook for that and go to Twitter for that or rely on email. You can create your own photo albums and keep everything in one place. We also have the event signups, again, with the push notifications where you can directly request, volunteers and items for an event that you're hosting. And your team members can come in and pretty much just click and sign up, and they'll get push notifications before your event to remind them that they are bringing certain items. And then we also have the social media sharing and then secure custom post sharing. So we'll get into this a little bit deeper in a couple slides, but based on the type of membership or public or private, you can kind of choose exactly who you want to see your posts. And then we have community engagement. So under this falls the translation. So we have a newsletter creation feature that actually allows viewers to read your newsletter in over 90 different languages, it gets translated in a couple seconds with one click. We also have an audio feature for that as well, which is in beta, where we noticed, if parents are not English speaking, they're able to read it in the language of their choice, but then the next step is being able to listen to it as well, which has been super helpful. And then we also have a dynamic branded website that we create and maintain for you. So when you sign up with us, you can actually get access to a free website for your unit right away. And you can start sending posts and announcements, sharing that link. It's yours. And then coming soon, we have two cool features in the works, which is the social media automation and surveys. Avnish, do you want to speak a little bit to that?
Sure. So, essentially last year when we were working with PTAs, one of the key problems what they came back with is that, oh, I have this Facebook page for my PTA, and then now I have a SchoolZ. So when I'm kind of posting a message on my website through SchoolZ, I have to take the same message and post it on the Facebook as well. And some also say that Facebook and Twitter, for that matter. So we heard the feedback, and this year we actually have created, it's still not launched yet. It's kind of targeted launch end of this month. But it's a social media automation tool which let PTAs connect their Facebook and Twitter accounts in the system. And all they have to do is just once they connect it in the settings, then they can just come in and they can post the whole message once. And if they have selected the social media where they want to publish it to, system will automatically post it on those Facebook pages as well as on Twitter. That's been a very high in-demand feature, which we are very excited that is coming out now, which is going to increase productivity of the social media coordinator in the PTA. We also have a surveys tool coming soon, which is another feature which was requested. Quite a few PTAs want to know what their PT members are thinking and they're just to kind of have a decision-making backend, so they can just create surveys and have PTA members and parents of the school, and even community for that matter, post the answers to those surveys, and the results will kind of come right into the whole board. So these are the two tools which are coming in the system. So we'll keep you guys updated when they are live.
Cool.
Back to you, Smita.
Yeah. Right. So the fourth category we had here was the modern online funds generation. So another key feature that we have is fundraising for your PTA. So one of the most common use cases that we have for fundraising is we have item sales, donation sales, print product fundraisers, and event sales. So you can actually set up your online, your own personal online school store through the external website, which again, I'll show you in a few slides there. But let's say you have merchandise and some items at your school that you already have and you would like to sell. You can kind of upload a picture of it and the price and all of that. And you can, link parents in your school to that external link and they can go straight there to purchase that. We also have the print product fundraisers. So SchoolZ actually has a built-in designer for yearbooks, mugs, calendars, other print products that you can actually design from within the app. So you can do, photo albums that you've uploaded or things like that. You can do a drag and drop in the designer. You can design it right there and we print and deliver that for you. So you can actually sell those print products on your website as well as a fundraiser or as just a general sale. So I just want to pause for any questions about all of that. I know it was a lot of information. So
as a question, can you quickly talk about a little bit of the onboarding process here? Like if a PTA is interested in signing up, what should they do and how should they go ahead about creating their year when the school starts?
Mm-hmm. For sure. So actually right from the website, which is the schoolz.com/PTA, you can kind of go in there and sign up for a free account. We have a basic free account that's accessible for PTAs to use year-round, no cost to them. I think about 20 to 30% of the PTAs who use us end up upgrading for those additional features, like the custom domain, the translation features for the newsletters and announcements, post scheduling, things like that. But right from there, you can actually go and sign up, and you'll receive an invite code to kind of start adding your board members, set up your banking, so all of that. And then immediately right on sign up, you'll have access to that external website, which I'll show you next. And you can start adding your board members, send them invite codes as well, and start post sharing.
Okay, and I think that also kind of needless to mention that at any point in time, if you have any questions, we have a support link on each of our website pages where you can just click it and shoot out a real-time message to us, and we are there to help.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Yeah, thanks. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's move ahead.
Yeah, so let's actually jump into the branded website. So what you're seeing on the screen right here on the laptop is kind of the template that we have for our external website. So let's actually give this presentation and go take a look at that website. So this is the SchoolZ PTA site. And right here we have Smile Kids PTA. So this is a demo PTA that we've set up. And here, yeah, if you notice, it's very similar to the National PTA kind of theme and, colors and design and all of that. So up here in the corner is the PTA logo with your custom text and all of that, which is fully customizable. We have these links up top here where you can upload your team, your mission, have a public calendar available, have a how to help section, your fundraisers, and a shop like the school store that I was just talking about. So all of this is fully customizable with the images and all of that. Scrolling down, this is where you can actually share some of your public events. So if you have volunteering events or just general events that you want to open up to the larger community, they'll show up right here. Here on the left, you can actually also set membership goals for your group. So you can actually have a progress bar to see how many people have joined, what your goal is, and onboard new PTA members that way as well, which I'll show you in a minute. And scrolling down here, you can see this elementary school's newsletters, announcements, their fundraisers are showing up here. So all your fundraisers that you create or want to publicize, they'll actually show up right here. So people from your community can come here and kind of click the link and they can donate straight from here. So you can learn about the fundraiser, read the description, share on Facebook, kind of all of that. And any payments that you collect will actually go right into the SchoolZ system. So you can generate a report on how your fundraisers are doing and stay on top of that. And then scrolling down to the bottom quickly, we have this whole section that's a sitemap. So basically you have this portion to upload, an about us, about your group, upload any resources, all of that. And your social media, your support. And over here on the right is key with the join the mailing list feature. So, your larger community members can kind of come here and put their name and email, and they can actually join your mailing list and start receiving updates from you. So that's one feature of the custom post sharing that we have available. If you want to send an announcement just to people on your mailing list, you can do that as well. So this was a demo site. Let me actually jump over to a school who is done a lot of customization and is using us right now. So this is one PTA who has uploaded their custom logo. They've kind of customized the images and all of that. But what I really wanted to show you here was the shop for one. So this is a yearbook that they designed with us. And so they're able to come here and just kind of sell it, and parents can come in right here, and they have one spot where they can go and purchase the yearbooks. As the end of the year approaches and it gets a little chaotic, it might be hard to find, but this will be on your main site at all times. The other key feature here is the Become a PTA Member section. So you can actually, from the system, go in and write a little blurb about how to become a member and set your membership goal and all of that, and people can actually get onboarded and join your PTA straight from here. So we use Stripe, which is secure online payment. Again, this goes into the system and you're able to generate membership reporting to see who is paid, who hasn't, and kind of keep track of that as well. Anything to add on the website, Amish?
No, I think you covered it pretty well. Just wanted to add that, at any point in time when you create any content within SchoolZ, like any board members creates a newsletter, or they create photo albums, or they create a post or announcement, you're able to just select your website and publish it to your website. So essentially, this is a dynamic website which continues to get updated year-round. And it's not a static website which just you make it once and then you just kind of keep it like that. So again, I think having a dynamic website for no cost to PTAs as a basic plan is something what we're proud of, and I think our PTAs appreciate that. That keeps it going.
Yeah, let me actually, thanks for bringing that up. Let me show you actually the custom post sharing that we have. So right here, if you're still seeing my screen, this is kind of what the system looks like internally. But right here on any post that you make, updating everyone about your yearbook sale, there's this sharing option that is on each post. So if you are clicking public, that's kind of where the dynamic aspect comes in. That post or that event will get directly sent to the external website. You can share it with just your PTA members, just your parents who are non-members, or just your PTA board members as well. You kind of have all those options, and all these sharing options exist on anything you create. So if you're creating a fundraiser or an event sign up, a newsletter, a document, anything like that, you can you have full control over who gets to see that. Cool. Another thing that is huge for the kind of just PTA, general PTA management is the member management, right? So like I was saying before, same with the custom post sharing, you can kind of generate and download custom summary reports of, who's part of your PTA members, who's part of your mailing list, add, delete, add people in bulk as well, to keep everyone organized and in one place. And you can also send your custom messages depending on the membership type as well. Another awesome feature that we have that I mentioned a little bit before under the community engagement is the newsletter and announcement translation. So actually, this is kind of what it all looks like. You can go in and choose from 90 different languages actually to translate it. So let's actually take a look at that quickly. So here's the newsletter portal, again, from within the system. So we're going to go ahead and open this PTA October 2018 one. And here we can go and let's say I want to choose German. I can go ahead and do that. And within seconds, you have a fully translated newsletter as well. And you can go here and click and play this as well for an English reading of the newsletter.
Yeah, Smita, can I take a minute here to kind of talk about the audio feature as well here?
Yeah, sure.
So I think the way this whole audio feature, which is in beta right now, came out is that one of our schools locally approached us and said that, oh, this feature of translation is very awesome, but some of our parents just cannot read, even if you translate it. How do you include them? So we were kind of pretty deeply working on the feature of inclusion at that time. So we got with the team and they suggested that, if they cannot read, they can still understand if someone speaks to them. So why don't we just create a text-to-speech technology in here and convert the whole document into a kind of audible version. So that's what we did. We are testing it right now, where just by a single click of button, generate audio, the creator, the author of the newsletter can generate a MP3 file on the system, and it just works flawlessly, and other people can then play it and listen to it on their whenever they have time. So I think I don't know whether on this Hangout Live we'll be able to show you play, but we'll be more than happy to show you this in action if you're interested. So reach out to us for the demo, and we would actually be able to show this feature to you live.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Go ahead.
Awesome. So this was the custom post sharing that we went through. Another awesome feature that we have are the event signups. So this falls under the fun and family engagement, and this is where you can kind of go in and request volunteers and items for any events that you're holding. This is very convenient because you can kind of set your preferences as well for notifications. And again, with the post sharing, you can send this to the public website. You can keep it just within your board members. Any kind of customization can happen there. But this is a really neat feature for kind of getting your community events to the larger community. And here's just kind of a general overview of all the features that we've kind of gone through here. We have the announcements in the newsletters, the direct messaging, membership, kind of all of that is here. So let me pause here again for any clarification or any questions.
Yeah, and the point which I want to add, Smita, I hope everyone sees it by now that the basic use case what we are solving for PTA is consolidation, where all of these tools which you could actually find somewhere else as isolated tool, we are kind of combining all of that in under one umbrella, and kind of giving you one way of doing all of this, like signups, fundraising, productivity, board management, all of it under one roof. And again, it generally takes lots of time to kind of build multiple lists if you're using multiple tools. Here you have to do it once, and when you're setting things up, and once everything is set up, you are able to just use all of these tools with ease under one umbrella. So yeah, so let's open it for questions. Let's give it a minute if we have any questions from the audience. Smita, looks like we do not have any questions. Do you have anything else to add before we conclude the webinar for today?
Yes, there's one last slide here. We touched on this a little bit at the beginning, but kind of wanted to go through, diversity within PTA that SchoolZ is being used. So majority, we have PTA units using us, but we also go up now to the council, district, and state levels. The structure there is kind of the same, right? For PTA units, you're really trying to manage and communicate with your board members and your PTA members. For councils and districts, we allow councils to communicate with their units, and we allow districts to communicate with their councils, all the way up to the state. So we kind of have custom PTA specific tools for any level of PTA that you're affiliated with. And yeah, unless you have anything to add there, that's what we have for today.
Cool. So, yep, I think we have a contact information there. And if you want to reach out to us, you can simply go on the website and hit the chat section.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Smita. Thanks, everyone, for joining.
All right. Bye.